Hey guys, Mav here. I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Um, so this is going to be my first video. This is really different for me. It's really new for me. I've never posted a video. Honestly, I don't even have an Instagram or anything like that. So why am I doing this? I've had a crazy life. A really, really, really crazy life. And I feel like if I can make it, anybody watching this video can make it. You really can. You just have to change your mindset. So that's kind of why I'm doing it. I'm also doing it for a sort of self-therapy. So I'm just gonna kind of touch over everything today. This is the first of many videos to come. I hope I see you again. If you like the things I'm saying, hit like, subscribe, leave comments, leave questions, ask me for my opinion. I'll throw it right at you. I'll shoot it honest. But so I was raised in a broken home. I was never physically abused, but I was always emotionally abused, and there was a lot of arguing between the parents. So I'm a very naturally anxious person, and I struggle from that. I was homeschooled until about high school, so I didn't really learn how to socialize with others until I hit high school. And then it was really hard for me because I was just dropped in amongst people who've known each other all their lives, small town, and I'm the kid born in Paris, France, who lived in Canada and just moved to the States, and it's just I did not mesh in, and I got picked on, and I just got depressed. I got suicidal. I honestly just wanted to be loved. I wanted to fit in. I wanted all those things that we all do. We all want these things. And it hurt, man. And pain causes anger. And it turned me into a very angry person. So after I learned pretty quickly. I joined the wrestling team, started doing jiu-jitsu, kickboxing, things like that to kind of, just the things they tell you to do to get it out. So I did that, and quickly realized I was quite good at it for my age, and quickly became a passion of mine. Well, unfortunately, right after graduating high school, I had no direction. My mother actually kicked me out right before my 15th birthday. I was a lot to handle and a handful, and she's she's got her own issues herself. I don't want to speak too much on that. That'll be for a further video where I really deep dive on my mother and everything like that. But, she really didn't put any kind of focus, attention, money, anything on teaching me habits, teaching me how to live. So many of those things that are just so crucial to teach a child while growing up. A quick example was she drove my sister all over the U.S. for her cheerleading stuff, but she never even picked me up from wrestling practice a single time. Just a quick example. So, and my father was just completely absent, both by fault of his own, by lack of effort, and also the fact that my mother had tricked him, essentially, and taken him out of our lives. So I'm at my early 20s. I have no direction in life, no mentors, no nothing. I've been doing whatever I want for like 5 years now. You can't tell me nothing. Like, there's nothing you could tell me. I know it all. And I fall into the wrong crowd. I'm like, man, okay, like, there's no more school. Like, I'm expected to make money. Like, I'm really having to turn it up now. Like, now I'm not a kid. I'm not getting the support I was getting when I was 16. Like now I'm paying rent, everything. Like, so I fell into drug trafficking. And, I was quite good at it. And I started, because of all the pain that was inside, so to speak. I was also a very angry person. So it just, the drug game, let's call it the rug cleaning game, it's very conducive for angry people. It's very conducive, I was angry, I was depressed, I didn't care if I lived or died anymore, it was just a constant gamble of my life through my 20s. I didn't care. I mean, it's just, I didn't care if obviously I didn't want to get caught, but if I got caught, it was just kind of like, whatever, it's the same as getting shot and killed or whatever. I just don't have to deal with my emotions and what's going on in here and in here. And so that behavior pretty much went on. And my family, for the whole time, I mean, from 20 to 30, I was just partying my head off, trafficking. I was, towards the end of it, involved in a very toxic relationship. And my family had always begged me to change and everything like that. Long story short, July of 2021, I got COVID. Now, you always hear about those like young people who get it real bad and their whole immune system overreacts and goes nuts. Well, that was me. So it just absolutely hit me like a ton of bricks. And I had 2 cardiac arrests. I was in a coma for 5 days, intubated, obviously. I had one of my cardiac arrests was on the way to the hospital. One was 3 days after they pulled the vent out because I lost my breathing. I'll get to there. And I had 2 hypoxic events. So I was told terminal. I woke up 5 hours before they pulled my plug. I was told I'd never be the same again. I'd never be healthy again. I'd never work again. I'd need dialysis. I'd need a pacemaker. My blood pressure was almost 200 over 100. So I could have stroked out any second, really. I mean, it was just a really very, very, very a concerning situation to be in. I thought I was a dead man. I had checked off the box. I'm done. My goose is cooked. Because when I woke up, they pulled the intubator out, and I lost my breathing reflex, and I knew eventually when I had to go to sleep, my lungs were just going to shut down again, and sure enough, they did. That's the second time I died, and through that, I found God. I had a very vicious spiritual experience, and don't worry, I'm going to keep this channel very not religion focused and stuff like that. This is about helping us in our minds and hearts. And I changed, and through that, I changed my mindset. Like, I didn't want to be angry anymore. I didn't want to fight anymore. It's just, when people say you have to fight when you're in the hospital, I never really understood how much they meant that. But you really have to fight, man. And that fighting, it was like steel ore. It was like it was steel ore that was put in the furnace to be quenched and tempered into a blade, right? And so I get out of the hospital. I'm about 200 pounds right now, 5'11", and I left the hospital at about 131 pounds. Kidney function 14%, liver function 19%. Right now, kidneys are at 98, liver's at 99, and the only health issue I have is a little bit of short-term memory issues from the either the seizures or the hypoxic events. So, I get out of the hospital. I just had this massive spiritual experience. Oh, it's funny. Actually, the way I left the hospital, after I died the second time, they asked me how, they didn't know why I flatlined. I knew that my breathing wasn't working, but they weren't listening to me or believing me or anything. I could see how so many people died from COVID. But I decided to leave AMA. I was like, okay, well, I just died twice now. You guys aren't fixing me. I'm obviously not getting any better. I'm leaving AMA. And they had me speak to probably like 7 or 8 doctors, a lawyer, everything like that. And they all told me, you'll be dead within 24 to 48 hours. Guaranteed. No chance you live longer than 24 to 48. Like, they're like, you'll probably be back here in 24 on, like, literally dying, and we can't do anything for you anymore. And I was like, I disagree. And I was like, and if I'm gonna fucking, sorry, excuse my language, I'm still not used to making this a PC channel, but if I'm gonna die anyways, I'm just, would rather just do it in my own bed. So, I called friends. They wouldn't give me a wheelchair because they were hoping that I'd fall. It would give them legal grounds to hold me against my will. So my friends came and they carried me out. And I slept for pretty much a month straight. They told me not to smoke weed because of my lungs were at low functioning. Weed saved my life. I mean, it allowed me to eat. It allowed me to sleep. It allowed me just to fix everything. It fixed my nausea. It replaced, I think, like 7 or 8 medications that they wanted me to take. And so, unbeknownst to me, while I was in the coma, I guess they do this for every coma, but they put you on a fentanyl pump. And since my case was so bad, I was on a high dosage. So I wake up and I'm addicted to opiates. And now not only are they there's like all these things that have piled up due to this health issue. So first thing I do, I leave AMA, I go to the methadone clinic because I hated the way the fentanyl made me feel. I was like, get me off this crap. And instantly, I'm in the process of titrating off of it now. And I changed how I was living. I went from being an absolute menace, and this video is already getting kind of long, so I'll try to wrap it up. But I went from being an absolute menace to being loving and kind and everything like that. And just focusing on just spreading love, positivity. I've put enough pain out into this world to where I need to put positivity out. And deep down, I felt like I had a purpose, or I just knew I could do better. I'm not throwing away a third chance at life. So I was like, I'm going to live this one at 100%. And about 3 months later, the girl that I had been with for the years leading up to that died. She got, we'll get into that later. And, about 6 months after that, my family turned on me because, as I said, I come from a very toxic family. And I just dropped all my toxicity. They couldn't pull me into arguments, and I decided to walk away. So I left my family behind. I left my friends behind because they were birds of a feather flying flock. They were horrible for me. And for the next 2 years, I spent without family, without friends, without a woman, because at this point, a few months before that, or right after I lost my family, I converted to Islam, which I might tell that story one day. But, so I spent it without friends, without family and without women, because I decided the next woman I dated was going to be my wife, because I just dated so many women at that point, and I tasted all the flavors of ice cream, and it's just, I knew what I wanted out of a woman, and it wasn't looks or variety or anything like that. It was a good character, a good personality. Like, I realized how ugly a beautiful girl could be. So, I was on Bumble, and I ended up meeting my wife, and she moved here from Taiwan about 5 years ago, and her English was absolutely horrendous at the start. We communicated with just simple words and charades. So, at first, it was just, I don't want to talk about my wife's issues and problems too much, so this is what I'm going to say. She has her own issues. She's had a very hard life, way harder than mine, and she is also going through a lot of stuff and working on herself just like I am in her own respective ways, and she just completely changed me. It's just, whenever I met her, I was like, this girl has had the hardest life I've ever heard of. And after marrying her and her getting to trust me, she's told me more, which has shocked me even harder on how difficult and painful her life would have been. So I immediately realized I can't tell this girl anything. I have zero excuses. Like, zero excuses to not succeed better than she is. So that's when I quit complaining completely. And then I realized, holy crud, like, I love the way she lives. She's super clean, all the bills are paid all the time, everything's super organized, I was like, everything's routine. I was like, this is awesome. I was like, I've never experienced this. I never had that as a child. I never had that growing up. Nobody ever showed me or taught me anything. And all of a sudden, I meet this girl. She's showing me all kinds of the correct way to live. And what I mean by that, it's not like coddling me or doing things for me. I'm going to give you an example. One time, I remember, she came and she came to talk to me, and she was like, can we talk about something? Because I have a rule, you come to talk to me about something, I'll never be angry at you. We'll always talk it out. She's like, can I talk to you about something? You not get mad? And I was like, yeah, of course, babe, what's up? And she's like, I think you're going to get mad. And I was like, no, I promise I won't. And she was like, I feel like you really lack discipline and motivation. And sure enough, my blood instantly boiled, and my knee-jerk reflex was to start yelling at her and screaming at her. But I was like, whoa, hold up, like, what's this reaction all about? Like, why did that make you so mad? And I thought about it, I was like, because it's true. I was like, because deep down in my heart, I know I could be more motivated and more disciplined. So I was like, damn. I was like, it burns me to say this, but you're right. I was like, I'm trying to be an adult right now. You're right. And so that's whenever I really started to work on changing myself and my mindset. And my wife changed me from somebody who was not that accountable, not that reliable, poor me. Things happened to me. Now I make things happen. So, and that's the biggest change, single change she instilled in me. So after a year of being with my wife now, I've never been happier in my life. I've never been more stable, more comfortable, more financially secure, more just happy. And I just want that for you guys too. And like I said, this is just skimming the surface. This is just skimming the surface of my life. This is the intro video. Then I'm gonna go into like chapters of my life, like probably chronologically, and or whatever. You guys leave comments. You tell me how you want to hear it. And but I have a lot of stuff that I'd like to tell you guys, share with you guys. A lot of you guys might be able to relate. And yeah, man, I've lived a really hard life. My wife's lived a really hard life. And if I was able to turn it around and she's able to turn it around, any one of you right now watching this video, I swear to God, you can do it. If not, I'll even put my email in the description. Shoot me an email, man. We'll talk it up. We'll chop it up. So, guys, I'm sorry if the video wasn't up to par or anything like that. I actually went a little bit over. It's 20 minutes. I'm sorry. If you're here all the way to the end, I love you. Thank you. Subscribe, like if you liked it, or dislike if you don't. And yeah, leave some comments. Let me know what's up. Let me know what I did good, what I did wrong, and how you want to hear things. All right, guys, love you.